Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm so pumped for we are actually doing a high-end makeup starter kit. So normally people do this drugstore starter kit. I just recently uploaded a drugstore starter kit. It will be linked down below if you'd want to check it out, I don't see a lot of, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do a high-end starter kit. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but I haven't seen it. And so I'm super pumped about it. I feel like you know, some people really want to know, and so that's what we're doing today. If you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, let's just get started. Guys, I just started watching Survivor on Netflix, and I already finished one of the seasons. So there's only 2 seasons freaking there because they hate me. And so I finished one season, started the second season, or not first and second seasons. There's only 2, but they're random numbers. They're like 23 and like 20 or something like that. So I watched one season, started the second one, and I'm obsessed. But anyway, so I'm like in a mood. I'm like, hurry, film so I can watch it. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah, I think that not a lot of people talk about, you know, high-end makeup. And although, like, you know, everyone uses high-end makeup, I feel like that's, all the YouTubers and stuff, they try to say like, oh, you know, let me use more drugstore makeup, or like, I love drugstore makeup, and then that's that. I think that at the end of the day, someone out there is buying high-end makeup because they're still in business, they're still out there. I'm buying high-end makeup. I'm sure there are people out there who are watching this that buy high-end makeup. I think the trick with high-end makeup is really finding the products that are worth it. And I feel like that's what the starter kit is that products that, you know, I think are worth the price tag. And although worth the price tag is kind of like, it's hard to say because for some people it might not be worth it, you know, and again, you know, people who make a lot of money, who make a little bit of money, it depends what worth it is. But I feel like there are products that are really, really good that all of you should try if you can get it on sale. If you can't, you know, just try these products. And then if you want to spice up your collection, you want to treat yourself, these are the products to do it with. So if you're going to get offended, if you're going to get upset that I'm talking about high-end makeup, definitely just click off the video. I have the drugstore one. You can check it out. I still stick by that too. There are some categories in high-end makeup that I'll mention and I'll say drugstore does it better, but if you want a high-end one, this one is it, you know? I will say that to you and stuff like that. So now let's jump in because I was talking for a really long time. So first things first is primer, and I actually didn't mention a primer in my drugstore one because I didn't find one that I feel like was really good enough. This one is, oh my gosh, has become one of my favorite primers. It was my 2020 favorites. I've talked about it nonstop. The Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer is so freaking good. I have a dupe that's from Shop Miss A that's kind of similar to it, but it's not drugstore technically, so I didn't mention it, whatever, but I really like that one too. This one though is just so good, especially because it's like hydrating and it seeps into the skin and it makes your skin just look illuminating, and anything you put on top of it just looks good and glowy and skin like, not glowy, but good and skin like and fresh, and your skin looks so bomb. Now I do have a mini here, which I totally recommend. You know, if you're someone who doesn't know if you're gonna like it, you want to just dip your toe in, definitely go for a mini. You don't need to spend the full money, but I think that if you're someone who loves primers, loves to experiment, loves that glowy fresh skin like I do, this is going to be your best friend, and definitely would recommend to test it out, dip your toe in. Again, this is probably one of the very few high-end, you know, primers that I would recommend to anyone, because high-end primers they're just a lot for a primer. This one is so worth every penny because it does what it says it's gonna do to the best of its ability. And so 10 out of 10 would recommend, guys. I would recommend hard. This foundation, and I do have 2 because I wanted to speak to 2 groups of people. I feel like the thing with, like I said earlier, the thing with high-end makeup is that you really want to know what's going to work for you. And so it's not going to be like, oh, let me test this out to see if I like this formula. No, it's going to be like, I know I love this kind of coverage. I know I like this I know I like this coverage. I know I like this finish. Is this foundation going to be worth the price tag? And so I wanted to mention 2 different products. First being the ABH Luminous Foundation, Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is so freaking good, but it is more medium to full coverage. I don't think it's full coverage. I think, you know, you can get it to a pretty hefty medium. I think there are things that are more full coverage, but this is for being as much coverage as it is. It's so dewy and skin-like and fresh, and I love the luminosity to it because it just makes your skin look alive and like skin. And so that's the hard thing. When the more coverage you go, the less skin-like it looks, and that's what's so so special about this one, is that it has a great amount of coverage, but it's still fresh and skin-like. And so I think if you're someone who wants more coverage but still wants to look like skin, this is your best friend. Go to, definitely would test it out. Definitely would go for this one. It goes on sale quite a bit. It has been recently, and so you definitely could get this on sale, but if not, I still think it's so good. Another one that I want to mention, the Tarte Maracuja Tinted Hydrator. I do have a mini guy here that I'm wearing today, actually. I'm wearing most of these products today. But this one is so good as well. But this is very, like, I don't think anybody with oily skin will like this at all, because it is so, it's a tinted moisturizer. What is it? Tinted hydrator. Like, it's literally hydration that's tinted. And so I think that, you know, sometimes hydration is good for oily skin, but don't think this one people will love that much. But if you can see on my skin, you can basically see everything underneath. You can see some of my marks here, some marks through here, some marks everywhere. But I love this because it's so lightweight, so fresh. I can wear it any day. I can glam it up like I did today, you know? Even though, no, it doesn't look weird. I feel like you just glam it up, whatever. You can do whatever you want with this foundation, and I love it. It's tinted hydrator, if you will. And I think it's so worth every single penny. And I went through a sample size already. This is another sample size I have, and then I have a full size here. Every time I get the chance to get this foundation, okay, and once I start using this one, you know, maybe, once I finish up this one, then maybe I will get a new one, but because I have two now, but any chance I get, I want to buy it because it's that good, and I want to recommend this to people. Every time I see it on sale, I post it on my Instagram because I'm like, guys, this is my favorite. Try it. It is so good. But again, it's very light coverage, lightweight. It's so good like that. But if you're someone who likes coverage, this is not going to be for you. I feel like, you know, it's good for work. Both of those foundations are good for work, for everyday wear and tear. I think the ABH one can get a lot. You know, it's kind of more glam because of the coverage, but I really just think those are so good. And if you really want to just dip your toe in high-end foundations, they are very pricey. I think they're both like 40 bucks, something like that, close to 40 bucks. That's a lot. But if you're like, I really want to try one, I'd say go for either of those. Especially, well, you know, keep in mind I have dry skin. Again, I've told you my preferences enough that you guys know I like something dewy, fresh, glowy skin. Like, that's it, no matte. So heads up. Next, I want to mention a concealer. So this is a new one, but it's a goodie. This is the Rare Beauty Concealer. It just doesn't have a name. You can see I've used, this is a good amount for concealer because concealer takes me forever to go through. And so I'm working down. Actually, it's kind of like by the R because that's stuck to the side. Anyway, I have the concealer on right now, and you can see my under eyes. Do I have fine lines? Yes. Does it sink into fine lines? Yes. But every concealer I've had does that, and I can't knock this for doing that as well. The shade I have is really yellow, so it looks a little funky under my eyes, but that's just the shade. I really love this concealer because it's more of a medium coverage, but it's very, again, fresh, dewy skin-like. I normally don't love a medium coverage under the eyes. I like light coverage, and that's what I like. But this one is so good because it covers up those designer bags, and it looks, you can see it looks nice and brightening, whatever it is. But it's not heavy, and it doesn't make my skin look dry under. It doesn't look crepey or anything like that. And so it's a really good like win-win. I think this is one that if you're someone who doesn't know where you want to go with concealers, you don't know how you feel about them, you don't know what coverage you like, this is a good one because it kind of shows you what a good concealer should be like. That's just a concealer. Like, it's just medium coverage. It's just it's not drying or anything like that. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's super dewy or super hydrating. I would just say it's a concealer. Like, it's just right in the middle, more maybe satin, I guess is the word. It's not matte, for sure not, but it's not super dewy or anything like that. So I think this is like one that you can say, you know, okay, I think I want something a little bit more matte. Okay, I think I want something a little bit more dewy, but you really want to try a high-end concealer. This one is so good. And I think Selena Gomez's line, she did really well with it. I think a lot of the products are hit products, and I might not mention all of them, but a lot of them I really, really do love. I gotta talk faster. Next is setting powder. I really personally don't think you need to get a setting powder from the from high-end setting powder. I think that if I'm going to splurge, setting powder is going to be the last thing I splurge on, but I did want to mention one just in case you guys really want to find a good setting powder. And this is going to make me sound like a broken record, but people really love the Laura Mercier translucent powder for a good reason. Again, I'm wearing it today, and it doesn't dry out your skin. That is the key for good setting powder for any skin type, anything like that, is that it does not make your skin look dry and crepey and nasty. And especially the concern for people with dry skin, and that's me. I really am like, oh, is it gonna dry me out? And it just doesn't. And so it looks set and fresh, but still, you know, skin-like and not cakey or heavy or anything like that, or crepey is the biggest fear. So I think this is a really good one. Again, I would say if you are in need of a setting powder and you don't mind getting from drugstore, I'd go drugstore with this. Elf Halo Glow, my favorite. But if you want a high-end one, or you're like someone who, like, I don't know, whatever the case may be, you want a high-end one, this is a really good one. Bronzer, I feel like, you know, some of you could guess this. Tarte Park Princess Bronzer, my favorite, so good. And honestly, I looked at all my bronzers and I was like, I don't know, girl, none of these seem like super worth it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, my Tarte, so good. I think they have a mini, which is, oh my gosh, lasts you so long. Look at how much pan I have. That means I love a bronzer. I'm wearing it today. I love the way it looks on my skin. It just has this like slight sheen to it that makes your skin look alive, and you just look glowy, but not super like shiny or anything like that. You just look alive, like a human being, and that's what I freaking love. I am trying to pan this, so I'm kind of going ham on her. Blush, oh my gosh, I don't know if this will surprise anyone. I haven't talked about this one in a hot minute. This freaking hair. This is the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo in the shade Spice Cinnamon. I haven't talked about them in a while, but I still love this blush so much. I think it's perfect, like, you know, in certain months. I feel like maybe I used it more in the summer, I don't know, but I used it, you know, I used it for a while, for a really long time. Whatever. And I do think that there's some amazing blushes at the drugstore, but I really strongly think that, like, you just need one. You just need one splurge kind of blush, and I think this one is so freaking bomb. You know, there are some formulas that I like, but I don't have the right shade in them, so I didn't want to recommend those. But this one is my perfect shade, my perfect formula. It's blendable, it's buildable. It looks so scary. It looks so scary, and it's so pigmented, but you hit it on and you blend it out, and it just blends like a dream. Then you can build it up. You can do whatever you want. And I love that they have a shimmery side in here too. I don't use it as nearly as much as the regular side. I can use some today. I don't use it nearly as much as the matte side, but I think that if you want that option, if you're someone who's like, you can see like the difference here now. If you're someone who wants that option, you have it, and I think that's perfect. That's the best thing about this product, and I really, really do love it. It's very expensive, but she's good. She's amazing. It's so good. And again, I tell myself that a lot. I'm like, I just need one product that I'm like, I feel bougie using, and that's the one. Next is a highlighter, and of course, I will recommend my Ofra highlighters to anyone, especially if you're someone who's like, I just want to try a high-end highlighter. Ofra is the way to go. You can get Ofra at Ulta, I believe, or their website. This is the old packaging, which I don't know, like, let me slide this in here. I've gotten 6 Ofra highlighters from Ipsy in the old packaging because Ipsy, you know, because it's old packaging and Ipsy sends them to me. I don't know, I accept it. I will gladly accept it every single time. Just so you know, if you ever want to see if you can get some free Ofra, not free, but, you know, $12 Ofra highlighters, try Ipsy. Anyway, so bomb, so beautiful. You can see I have it on here. I really love this formula because it's blinding. You can see how blinding it is, but you can see that it doesn't look like it sits on top of the skin or looks like a strip or looks like anything. It looks healthy, and it looks like it belongs there, you know? It looks like a very natural glow. Highlighter's never natural. Certain highlighters can be, but this one's definitely never natural. So this is a different kind of, you know, highlighter. It's not for everyone, but I think that if you're someone who really just wants one highlighter, one blinding highlighter, one amazing highlighter, one high-end highlighter, Ofra's the way to go. Ofra's the way to go. Rodeo Drive. Best shade, cult classic for a reason. Next is brows, and I honestly don't think there are very many high-end brow pencils that are worth it. Drugstore does it perfectly fine, but again, if you want to just try it, you're like, hey, I just really want to try it, or I have a gift card and I want a brow pencil, you know, whatever the case may be, I really do think the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz is the way to go. I really love the Benefit Precisely My Brows well, but I do like this one a little bit better. I feel like it's a little bit you know, easier to use. It's a little bit more pigmented. It just does the job quickly and efficiently, and you don't feel like it's a total waste of money, you know? I really like this. Not that I feel like the Benefit one was a waste of money, but I would only get the Benefit one if it was half off. Again, you know, I wouldn't pay for price. I feel like this one is one that I might repurchase just to have it in my collection, you know, because it's good. And so it's very thin tip. It does the job quickly, and like I said, and it's like waxy enough that it lasts in your eyebrows, but not super waxy where it pulls your eyebrow hairs out. It's like the perfect creamy and waxy. It's the perfect brow pencil, honestly. I don't think it's a huge necessity. I think that there are other ones that are just as good, but from the drugstore. But if you wanted one, and that's where I'd go. Next, let's talk eyeshadow. As I fix my eyeshadow, I am going to die. I have so many high-end eyeshadow palettes because I feel like the one thing that I could safely splurge on is high-end eyeshadow palettes, and so I have so many, but the one formula that is just my absolute favorite that I would recommend always and forever is Too Faced. And I want to specifically say Too Faced Holiday because I've never tried any regular Too Faced palettes. I've only tried their holiday palettes. I have their pumpkin spice one right here. I think these are so good, and this is the perfect time to get them when it's the holidays and you're like, hey girl, I'm splurging, you know, we're having fun. Holidays is the perfect time, and the quality is superb. Definitely top 3 eyeshadow formula I've tried in my life. It's probably like this one, okay, maybe top 5. It's probably like Too Faced, ColourPop, BH Cosmetics, Laura Lee Los Angeles, and something else. I don't know. But these are definitely up there. I freaking love these palettes so much. The color schemes are so unique too. I really love them. I feel like I don't have this over and over in my collection. I really love this. Now, I believe this one's half off some places because it's old holiday, but I feel like definitely worth it. This one I used for the first time today, which took me a while, but the formula is still so good. I have the shimmer on my lid today. The formula is still really, really good. It's not my favorite color story from them, but it's a good palette. And I really enjoyed the Too Faced Salted Caramel eyeshadow palette, which again, I think might be half off some places because this repass. It's the most recent holiday palette, and I really love this if you love, you know, those orangey tones. I should have used some of this one. My favorites two are definitely Tickled Peach and Hot Buttered Rum. These are definitely old, so you can't get them anymore, but you know, if you find them on another site or something, I feel like this is the importance of this too, is that if you see a Too Faced palette you like, get it while you can, girl, because they will be limited edition. But the formula is so good, so bomb. 10 out of 10 would recommend. All my little babies, little family here. That and ColourPop, top 2. Too Faced and ColourPop, probably top 2. Alright, next let's talk about some eyeliner. I feel like I don't know if I feel like I talked too much or not enough about these. They are expensive, they're pricey, but I feel like they're so good, they're so worth it. And for the holidays especially. Alright, eyeliner. This is so freaking bomb. This is the Sephora colorful crayon contour eye pencil in the shade Tiramisu. I talk about it all the time. It's in my waterline today. I love this eyeliner. It's so creamy but does not budge throughout the day. You can see it right here. It's a weird shade. I don't even know what kind of color this is. It's like a brownie, cool tones, neutral kind of brown, but it looks so good with everything I wear, and you know, I'm not gonna complain. It looks so good. The formula looks so bomb, and it really shows up really, really nicely in my waterline, if you can see that. It's just so perfect. I love this formula. I would definitely pick up more, you know, if I ever needed to. I just have so many eyeliners that I feel like I've got the perfect color right here. I don't need any others, but if I ever needed one, I would go back to this. So bomb. All right, girl. Whew. I'm like winded. All right, let's talk about mascaras. I have 2 here, but this is more of a brand kind of thing. If you want ever a high-end mascara, go for Tarte. I love so many high-end mascaras, not gonna lie. That for me is like one of the things that I feel like the drugstore just misses the mark every single time. Or at least most times drugstore misses the marks, and Highend does very, really well. That's mascaras. I feel like Tarte just kills it every single time. ABH has a really good mascara. Kosas has a good mascara. Really, really nice. But I feel like you have the most variety with Tarte. You have one that's more lengthening, one that's more volumizing, one that's more curling, one that's all 3. Whatever you like, Tarte has it. And I think 10 out of 10, any mascara you buy from him, you will love. I have this one on this eye, this one on this eye. Like, look how freaking gorgeous. Look how gorgeous. Stunning. Literally stunning. They're like false lashes. But you can also, you know, do a couple less coats and get something more natural. So I really love these mascaras. They don't budge, they don't flake, they don't do anything to me. And I've never had a mascara fludge on me. I've never had a mascara flake on me, so I don't know what people are talking about, but one of my favorites. 10 out of 10. All right, let's talk about setting spray quick. If you can't guess this, then you are clearly new to my channel, because this is my favorite, my holy grail. Like Huda Beauty Glow Coco Setting Mist. Again, this is one that is a glowy setting mist. If you have oily skin, I don't know if you like this at all. This one is probably like a hard no, because it is very glowy, very dewy, and very it has that aspect to it that is just very, very, very extremely glowy and dewy, which is why I love it. That's why I think people with dry skin won't like it, but it is so freaking good. So sets your makeup look, makes it look fresh. All my skin likeness, all the dewy freshness that I look is from this. It's literally this, and it's so good. And I think my makeup lasts pretty long with this. I don't think it's the most long-lasting setting spray ever. Like, it doesn't make my makeup last that, like, extremely long more than other things, but it does make it last a pretty good time. Like, it doesn't reduce the wear time, if that makes sense. And so I really love it. I think that $35 obscene, but I would buy it again, and I'm literally gonna cry when I use this up because I love it that much, and I will definitely add it to my cart. Probably again, probably next Sephora VIB sale. Last but certainly not least, I think the Buxom lip glosses are without fail the best high-end lip product ever. I think lipsticks can be replaced. Drugstore, high-end, they're all the same. I think even lip liners, drugstore does them better in my personal opinion. Liquid lipsticks, whatever it is, I have so many that are like half drugstore, half high-end. Like, I don't feel like I need one over the other, but I feel like Buxom lip glosses, you need to try at least one in your entire life. At least try one, and then you're good to go. They do have this tingling aspect to it, but there's nothing like hurt. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful. It just feels so good. It's like minty. You're like, ooh, and then your lips do get a little bit more plump and a little bit more juicy, and they look so good. I think this is I have the shade Dolly, which is cult classic. Everyone loves it for a good reason because it's a very neutral shade. It looks pink in there, but it's not super like pinky. Let me show you. It has a pink tint to it, but you can see how it's more neutral than it is pink, or like a neutrally pink. And so it looks really nice. You can put it on top of a lip liner like I have today. Whatever it is, you can rock this, and it feels so good. It looks so good. It's sticky. It's a stickier gloss, but it's nothing super sticky that's uncomfortable. You can see it's not stringing on my lips. Obviously it's going to transfer because it's a gloss, but I think even better, I like this one even better than the Fenty. I like this one better than every single other high-end lip gloss that I've tried, and I think that everyone here should try it. Everyone who listens to this video should at least try it once in your life. Just once. So good. So good. So the quote for today is, keep going. Everything you need will come to you at the perfect time. And it's so true. God knows the exact time, the exact place, and the exact moment that you're going to need something. And just keep going because it'll come. That's it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you actually enjoyed this. I had fun filming it, but you never know. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.